Good afternoon. It's October 4th, 2022, and we had another uptrend day today. Most of the day was spent in this range. Um, but yeah, it's an uptrend day. We'll see. We'll see if I missed anything going through here. But with the feel of the personality of the market, I think I'm just marking all these trades as aggressive because there's really just not a whole lot of confidence behind them. So I think 5 o'clock. Okay, 5 o'clock came in right around here, and it's just congestive. I wouldn't. What I did on the ES was I took this higher low. So you get a second entry long right here, but it's below the EMA, and then you get. Okay, so I'm seeing this didn't make a swing low. On the MES, this made a new swing low. So you can't really take anything here. And then it looks like we get one leg down and like two legs of correction and then another leg down. And in this leg, you get a first entry, failed second entry long. But with how up the overnight was, I'm not sure I would be comfortable taking that. And then look what they do here. You got a one tick lower, first entry, failed second entry short, and they just trap all the people who are coming in too early. So with this personality, you just got to be really careful. But that starts a trend. We're working up. I don't see anything in here. Unfortunately, there's no high or low in here. But I feel like you have to be aggressive on these days, and so maybe you take this as a second entry long. But I don't know if you want to do that, but you might. And then you could have had this trend line drawn by now, so maybe you take this second entry long off the midline. Only problem is you're not too sure, and I would have had it drawn probably like that. You're not too sure about this. Maybe it's an overshoot. You don't know yet, so it's risky. And that's just some congestion. Actually, this looks like, right here, like maybe you take that. And even though that's a double top, maybe you look at that as a second entry long. And it's off to the races. And maybe you look at something like this as a second entry long. That looks like the exact same pattern as this. So maybe you take that. But this one's going into the highs very clearly. So you actually get a failure right there. Maybe you take that. Then you get a breakout pullback. Maybe you take that. I'm not gonna mark it, but and then you get a second entry right here and a higher low right there. And you could have looked at this as a double top, first entry, second entry. But if you don't take that, you get a failure right here. And these are all off the midline. So, and these overshoots aren't like big overshoots. So you could have gotten in on this move. I like those. I like these. And then we're just going sideways. And you do get a failure right here, failed first, second entry, but it's just this sideways stuff on these days it's just nerve-wracking. And you can see this congestion. It follows up with congestion. Then we find support down here, and I don't think you can take anything in here. Move in. We break out to the low side, and that's a second entry. So second entry and a breakout to the low side, maybe you take that. Higher low going right into the EMA. These are all dojis. And look at all that stem. I really don't even like that. Breakout to the high side, it fails. This is way too congestive up here. And we're just chopping around inside this range. There's nothing really to, in my opinion, and for my time, I'm not even going to analyze this stuff because it's just not my style. It's not stuff I like. Unfortunately, you don't get anything to the short side in here. Maybe you consider this one, but it's a second entry short, but that's really aggressive. Second entry short, and it's like a triple test. Then you can see we get an overshoot that leads to a break. And you do get a first entry, second entry long. Signal bar is not good. It kind of looks like a double test. So, and then we break up into this range, and we're just, let me draw that. Yeah, you probably want to draw it like this. I mean, you'd have it like this, but you can see that's a measured move. It breaks out, comes back, tests that midline, fails. There's second entry short right there, but I mean, maybe you take that because at that point you'd probably be looking at it as like a double test and a breakout pullback. So maybe you take that. First entry, second entry, back into the range. Maybe you take this one really as a higher low back into the range. And we rock it up. And I guess I thought this was a failure, but I mean, technically it ticks higher here. So, but that confirms the trend channel, and then we just move on down, and we just got this correction out of that channel. They probably trapped some shorts, and they're just trapping everybody right now. You do get a failure right here. We'll see if that plays out, but this looks like a pretty good failure, to be honest. But they could just be two legs of correction, and yeah, we could be going lower. So I don't like this price action. It's not easy. It takes skill, and it takes a lot of experience to know this stuff. So I'll see if this fails, but that's how I saw it today. Really. So if you're sticking with the bias, you might want to take that failure. But one more look at the day. Hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.